My name is Maria, and my Indian name is Generous Woman. My mother had 7 children. Alcohol and drugs touched all of us. My oldest brother and his 3rd wife moved to Tennessee. One day my brother and her adult son were drinking and fighting in the house. My brother shot and killed him. He spent years in prison and on probation. He said that he would never drink again. My younger brother died at the age of 48 from alcohol and diabetes. Alcohol told him that he was not a diabetic. Alcohol lies. When I was 12, my father told me to go get him a beer while watching a Tigers game on TV. I would shake the beer and drink the foam. By the time I was 29, I had acquired the taste for a 5th of scotch a day. I walked around with a thermos full of Johnny Walker Red. They called me the girl with the gusto. In reality, alcohol lied to me too. I was failing in my job. Half the time I didn't know where my children were. My alcoholic husband left me because of my drinking. I was losing hours of my day from having too many blackouts. One day, in a Detroit newspaper, I saw a story about the police finding a woman's unidentifiable body parts in Windsor. I thought, that could be me. I became fearful and paranoid. I was scared to pick up a drink. Maybe the next time I might die. Who would take care of my kids? I was crying and shaking. I did not want to die. I called the AA hotline. A man answered and asked, "Have you had a drink today?" "No, I'm scared." He said, "Don't drink and go to a meeting." It was a Sunday night. I met my sponsor, an older Apache woman named Dolores. She was a lot rougher than me and didn't take any BS, saying, "This is the way it is, kid." I hated her at first, but learned she spoke only the truth. After a few years, I grew to love her. We traveled to Native AA conferences all over the United States and Canada, where I met hundreds of sober natives. It was awesome. Sobriety changed my life. I lived in Detroit for 29 years, but it wasn't until Dolores took me to my first powwow that I began to meet more natives in my community. I used to take my kids to the Indian Center to learn to dance, and we socialized with others. Eventually, I sat on the board of the North American Indian Association and the American Indian Services. Since my kids were taken off the tribal rolls twice, I've learned how to research Native records. I used to teach others how to find their heritage. I used to love cooking at Native American functions because it made me feel good to serve others. I still cook. After 10 years in AA, I wanted more. I found my higher power as a Salvation Army soldier, heart to God and hand to man. God has helped me to stay sober for 35 years, and now I want to help others. Today, I chair a women's AA meeting in Traverse City and one in Peshabi Town. Because of him, I have 3 beautiful children that are working the AA program. In sobriety, I have learned how to be honest with myself, my children, and my family. My higher power gives me hope and a new way of living.